right?
Okay, that's where I
Right?
was going to. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right in the
Well,
gas.
yeah,
But
the homie was
you
here
know,
going in. I was
you know,
like,
I
what?
was watching
Yeah,
them. I was
yeah,
watching them on YouTube. When
yeah.
the YouTube died, you dig? And man, I've known this cat man for years.
That's right.
Yeah, listen, man, Marvin Verner put together some a visual representation of my keywords, and he orchestrated that shit so coherently to the nature of each planet that I knew at that point he really learned everything I showed him. He
Right.
had an understanding. He saw it in his environment. That's
Good.
what I really teach my students to do. They'd be like, "What book should I read?" I'd be like, "Your birth chart and every chart thereafter,
Correct.
because that maps your whole life and it writes every chapter, you know." And that's so real. Like if you are the universe and the universe is you, and really that's it. You see, there's really no argument. If you just know your birth date, I blow your mind. I don't care who you are. If you got 2 legs and 5 fingers at the end of each motherfucking extremity, man. You know what I'm saying? 5 digits. So this is just the law, the template of humanity. See, and it's been taught to you to ignore it. It's been devilized. It's been demonized. It's been all that. But you are the universe at the moment of your birth. You are
Yeah.
the embodiment of it.
Yeah.
And that's that. See, a lot of people say, nah, I can change all that. I control all that. Good. Whatever gets you through the day, buddy. At the end of the day, you're learning every day what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. That's it. That's
Right.
it. Every day for your whole life has been constantly that. And you can't show me otherwise. It's been a lot of other shit too. I'm not even gonna dispute this. See, but it's a template. You got 5 fingers of total. You got one nose, 2 eyes. You dig what I'm saying? 2 lips. You got 2 ears. Like you're a human being, man. And you were born at a certain time of the year that if you look at everything in nature, now, what makes you think that you are a separate entity from that? It's so ridiculous that we look at your chart from when you were just days old. 40 days is the first 40 years of your life. You see? Your life is pre-written. And if you're honest with yourself, you will see the pattern that you've been going through every year, every month, man. Everybody every month has an opportune day, a golden moment. And if they sit at home and watch TV, they'll laugh, but they'll miss their bus. You see? You see what I'm saying? So what's really crazy is that bus don't come back around in its time. All that shit is calculated. Just like a woman's period is. It follows a different cycle. It's not the cycle of the moon or the full moon. It's the cycle of the goddamn sun and its revolution, because it spins at a different speed at its poles than it does at its equator. And the sun is not just a scientific burning ball torch in the middle of space doing nothing. It is consciousness. It is life. You dig, without it, there's no life. You understand? It is your heartbeat. It is the photosynthesis that you get from plants. So you are made up of the whole universe. If I take a hydrogen, if I can just extract a hydrogen cell from your fucking body, then and compare it to a hydrogen cell from a star long far away, what's the difference? It's all hydrogen, man.
Right.
So there's a law of cohesiveness that ties this all together into the fabric of reality, and it manifests in you, in your person. And you ain't gonna argue with that. The ones that argue ain't never measured a motherfucking thing up. It is one. I'm gonna give you this.
Go.
Keep it short.
Well,
keep it short.
I'll
I'm gonna
yeah.
keep it short. This is it. 1 minute. 1 degree equals 1 year. Kobe Bryant was 41 years and 128 and 156 or 57 days old when he died. If you measure the distance between his Pluto and his Saturn, that's exactly the number of years and days that he lived. Saturn means to fall, and Pluto means to die. And Saturn rules the second child, which is the one who died with him. And he had the sign of death in the place of children. So now, see, that's just some drastic shit, right? So this is why, you want to argue with me? I'll show you how Malcolm X, his whole life. Martin Luther King said, I had a dream. And the midpoint of his Venus, Neptune was the sun. So I, the sun, have Venus, possess, Venus, a dream, Neptune. So when we think that we make the choices that we make, they already fucking written for you. I can look and read your grandmother's chart. I can find you.
We're going to do a reader for Killah Priest too.
Listen, man, I'm not even, when I offered to read it, bro, he didn't want it. He just called to say to me, happy solar return. as a favor to his Wiz. Word is Bond, 2009, October 30th.
Word.
Yeah, I was in Endicott, New York.
So that
Okay.
there was a question. There was a question that they gave me a little bit earlier in terms of how did the ancients utilize astrology and how is it relevant, especially given the
Because
names.
we was in tune totally with the laws of nature and the cycles of nature. Let me give it to you like this. You know, it's a medical fact that your bones replenish and your cells replenish every 7 years. Okay? And Saturn, one fractal of Saturn, 1/4 of that is 7 years. This is when our bones and our joints really start to begin to develop. And at 14 years, you dig what I'm saying? Then at 21, and this cycle of 7 keeps on going. This is what the number 7 is all about. It's all about your age cycle. We use Saturn to keep track of that because Saturn is heavy, Jack. And everything about you and every the world that is heavy is subject to the laws that are represented by as archetype. You see? And you have to really, somebody said to me, man, there is no, I just gave it to y'all short. So now that I'm dragging it on, it's on you, right? So there is no place on earth where their voice